Up next is Tyler Tork reading about alien invasion.
I don't know if you guys got the agenda before you originally promised Halloween, but it was a little long, so I decided to choose something that I could read the whole thing here. In fact, I have 2 pieces, and one is very, very short. I don't have any books to sell you, but I do have a story in the Sky Tinted Waters anthology there, and I also have a pile of cards over on the little table at the end with my website on it, where you can find everything else of mine that's available to buy, most of which is on Amazon. Okay, the first one is the short one. A friend of mine challenged me to write a story in 75 words. So this is it. It's called Balance of Forces. Tuesday. Flamingos moved closer to house overnight. Did neighbor move them? She of towering hairdo, peeking through curtains at my Rococo lifestyle? Can they move on their own? Wednesday. Closer still. Malicious gleam in beady eyes. We'll watch tonight. Thursday. Freaking out. Didn't see them move. How? Peanut brittle. Failed to soothe. We'll try garden store. Friday. Friendly but tough-looking garden gnome caught my eye. Solid. Bought 20. Line of defense. Sleeping better now. Okay. The next story I'm going to read is about the alien invasion. It's an unusual kind of invasion. The title of this is How the Invasion Came to Able Tooling of Coopers Creek, Kansas. I don't know whether we were the first, because nobody noted the exact time, but we were among the first. The soft pop sounded like the single-use flashbulbs my grandpa used to use when I was a kid. I looked across the aisle at Marcy, my fingers automatically going to the keys that would switch from the solitaire program to a spreadsheet. Marcy had turned in her chair, so we both saw the door of the supply closet slowly swing open. My mom had always told me that the danger a person represented could be judged by the perfection of their attire. She was never afraid of beggars or punks because, she explained, the worst they could do was beat you up or kill you, and even that was unlikely. Cops, though, in their tidy uniforms, made her nervous. The 2 men who stepped out of the closet wore the narrowest, straightest ties and the best fitting jackets I had ever seen. Their hair and shoes gleamed in the light of the overhead fluorescents, and you could have sliced a tomato on the crease of their trousers. Interdimensional Revenue Service, the taller one said, flashing an ID card and a humorless smile from even white teeth. William Ocean? My eyes flashed involuntarily to the next cube across the way, and they stepped forward to look around the partition. Bill was only just becoming aware that something was going on. He'd been leaning over a trade mag, his curly red hair all askew, because of his habit of sticking his fingers in it while he read. "What's this?" he said. "Mr. Ocean, we're here to assist you in the paying of your taxes." "Sorry?" "Citizens residing in foreign dimensions are still required to pay taxes on their income in those dimensions," the other man explained. "You've never filed a single return." Bill stood. Is this some sort of joke? But a good look at them must have convinced him that it was no joke. By this time, the other 3 people in the office had come out to see what was happening. The taller man showed him a plastic clipboard. "This is your estimated tax debt," he pointed. "Here's the amount in local currency." Bill's eyes grew round. "Are you crazy? I haven't made that much in my whole life." "Naturally, penalties and interest have increased the amount." He appealed to the rest of us standing around. "What does he even mean about foreign dimensions? I'm not a foreigner." "It's true," said Fred, our boss. "I've known his parents since before he was born." place of birth is not relevant. If there's been any error, the shorter tax agent said, you can bring it up when your case comes up for review. Meanwhile, you'll have to come with us. We have a place to hold you until you find a way to pay. What? No! Bill's voice grew shrill. You can't do this! I am an American! He started to run for the door, but the shorter agent's hand shot out. There was a crackle and a flash, and Bill froze, falling forward against a cubicle partition, stiff as a board. We all backed away. Lorraine made a soft little squeak. A resistor, the taller agent murmured, making a note on his clipboard. The two men stepped forward together and each took one of Bill's arms, easily lifting him to set him upright. The tall agent touched each of us with his ice-blue gaze, then opened a slim attaché case and took out a stack of bound booklets, far too thick to have fit in the case. I jumped when he plopped them onto my desk. In case any of you others are tax evaders, he said, please note that penalties are substantially reduced if you file voluntarily. They took Bill's arms again and carried him into the supply closet. The shorter agent took a last hard look at me and Marcy. Marcy was crowded into the corner her desk made with a cubicle, her hand over her mouth. He pulled the door shut, and a second later, there was another hiss, pop, then silence. We all looked at each other. Marcy whimpered. I walked across and after a second's hesitation, jerked the closet door open. Empty, but for office supplies, and a faint smell of cologne. Gone, I said quietly. Fred came to my desk and picked up the top booklet, flipping through the many pages of forms it contained. The others hung back. Are we supposed to fill these out? Lorraine said. Terry came forward and took a booklet. I think we'd better, he mumbled, and headed back to his office.